Good morning. Welcome to the April 26, 2022 Board of Commissioners meeting. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Commissioner Hack.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. There we go. Now I got the right screen. Next on our agenda is please silence your cell phones if you haven't done so already. Next is approval of the agenda. Do we have any additions or corrections to the agenda, Mandy?
I'll move it, Madam Chair.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Next is our consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Anything to pull off or add to it at this point? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Next is public appearances. Do we have any public appearances today? Come up to the microphone and state your name. For public appearances, we limit it to 3 minutes per person. And Michelle will be our timer today. So.
Mary Milbrath, Belgrade Township.
Cheryl Michaels, Belgrade Township.
Just have a seat.
Go ahead and sit down. Anything. So,
Sit here?
yeah.
Okay. Mary Milbrath, Cheryl Michaels, and Sandy Howe, supervisors of Belgrade Township and officers, Board of Appeal and Equalization members. We are present today to present the numerous number of residents of Belgrade Township that are irate with the increased 34% in the 2023 market value of their homes. The opening statement from the Belgrade Township Board for Determination of Appeals was unanimous to raise the EMV by 8.5% across the board. We were not allowed to follow through with that proposal. The residents' appeals were heard on April 14th, and then with a follow-up on April 20th for our determination. There are 6 homes that were sold and listed in the median homes for Belgrade Township. The median value increase is 34% in Belgrade Township, with some increases in estimated market value as high as 47%. Other townships in Nicollet County, preliminary median value increases were from 3% to 20%. Rural residential, the first acre of land in Belgrade Township is valued at $60,000, was initially told it was $55,000, yet Ridgely Township is at $35,000 for the first acre. The high-end homes in Belgrade Township was not listed. It was sold twice. It is not listed in the public sales report, not figured in the preliminary median value increase. A resident called Nicollet County was curious about the decision of the Board's Appeals and Equalization. The resident was told that 3 women made the decision and lowered 7 of the 24 inquiries. We do not feel that this is public information. Our decisions are limited, and we were told numerous times what our limitations were. In Appeal Board, we were told that if we lowered an estimated market value that we had to find where to add the subtracted amount to other residents. Questions: how many total home sales are there in Belgrade Township? What are the sale prices? The high-end value houses get 25% discount for dwelling in this range of $2 million. An additional 10% discount for style, plus subdivisions get a 10% discount. And appears $600,000 to $1 million get a 5% discount. With such high values, then turn around and give a select few a discount. Noted that $414,000 EMV is the cutoff amount for when you are no longer allowed homestead credit. It is stated that this was to benefit the lower income residents. At the rate of increase of EMV, there will be very few, if any, that will be allowed to claim this benefit. Basically, we felt that our hands were tied. Repeatedly, we were told, and that if we decided to lower one resident's EMV, someone else's is raised. The residents were reassured by the county assessor that eventually the EMV prices will go down. A resident had a 10-year schedule of percentages of taxes. Increases over a 10-year period was 52.2%. Decrease value of the same 10-year period was 18.4%. Thank you for your time in this matter. We appreciate taking the time to listen to Belgrade Township's concerns. Thank you. I have a copy if anybody would like it.
Certainly, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other public appearances at this point? Seeing none, we'll move on to the agenda to finance. First quarter 2022 donations.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. I'm here to present, the quarter one 2022 donations received by Nicollet County. It was a total of $555. Various donations for van services totaled $340, and the loan closet totaled $215. So I'm looking for approval by resolution today.
I'll move adoption of the resolution to accept the donation.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. Sarah, would you please call the roll on the resolution?
Commissioner Morrow,
Yes.
Commissioner Lipke,
Yes.
Commissioner Heck,
Yes.
Commissioner Kohlers,
Yes.
Commissioner Drano.
Yes. Thank you. Resolution passes.
All right,
Thank you to our donors. Next on our agenda is Public Works, State Concrete Paving Award for Project SAP 052-613-021. How'd I do?
Very good. Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board and staff. One item from Public Works today, just an informational item. So earlier this year in January 2022, we were notified by MnDOT and the Concrete Paving Association of Minnesota that Nicollet County Public Works and Kroll Incorporated had won a state concrete paving award for the concrete overlay project that we completed on County Road 13 from 506th Street to Trunk Highway 99. This project was determined to be the best county concrete overlay project completed in the state of Minnesota in 2021. Myself, along with some of my staff, attended the Concrete Paving Awards Banquet on March 10th in Duluth to receive that award. And so by winning a state paving award, we are now eligible to submit for consideration of an American Concrete Pavement Association Excellence in Concrete Pavement Award. And so typically those submittals to be considered for an award are required by July 2022. I would just like to have a project turn out this well. I would just like to thank the county board for your support, the public works staff for all the time and effort they put in developing plans and specifications and overseeing the construction, and Kroll Incorporated. You don't get an excellent project if you don't have an excellent contractor, and they did a very, very good job. So.
Nice.
That's my report.
Thank you. And congratulations. It is a nice stretch of road.
Yes, turned out very well. We're proud of it.
Cool. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks to the crew. Next on our agenda is Public Services.
Good morning, Madam Chair and members of the board. So I am here today for the board to approve a resolution appointing a county assessor. The purpose of the resolution is to appoint Shayna Jackson as the next Nicollet County assessor effective April 30th, which is this Saturday, and will extend through December 31st, 2024. A little background on this is Lorna Sandvik, our current county assessor, is retiring. Her last day is this Friday. And she has served nearly 26 years with the county. I want to take this time to really thank Lorna for her dedication and her service to the county. She's been a joy to work with. We are going to miss her immensely, and we wish her well. And then on the same token, we're excited to bring Shayna Jackson on board as the new county assessor. And so there is a resolution in your packet to appoint Shayna as the next county assessor effective on Saturday. If you'd like, I can read it. It's short, so I can read it into the meeting.
Please do so.
Resolution appointing a county assessor. Whereas Minnesota statute 273.061 states that every county in Minnesota shall have a county assessor. And whereas the county assessor shall be appointed by the Board of County Commissioners, and whereas appointment of the county assessor shall be approved by the Commissioner of Revenue before the appointment becomes effective, and whereas Nicollet County has a vacancy in the county, in the office of county assessor, and whereas the vacancy shall be filled by appointment of a new and qualified assessor for the remainder of the term, and whereas the current term for the office of the Nicollet County Assessor ends after December 31st, 2024. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Nicollet County Board of Commissioners appoint Shayna Jackson as the next county assessor, with her term to start on April 30th, 2022 and extend through December 31st, 2024. Be it further resolved, said appointment shall be approved by the Commissioner of Revenue before it becomes effective, dated April 26, 2022.
Madam Chair, I'd like to move the resolution.
Thank you.
And I would say, on behalf of the board, we are grateful, Lorna, for your service to Nicollet County. It's not an easy job, we understand that. And Shayna, there are bright days ahead as you continue your work and the work of our assessor's office through public service. So I move it.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other comments from the board? Sarah, would you please call the roll?
Commissioner Kollars?
Yes.
Commissioner Hack?
Yes.
Commissioner Lipke?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrow?
Yes.
Commissioner Drannell?
Yes, thank you. Welcome, Shayna. We're jealous, Lorna. You get to retire. Enjoy your next station in life. Thank you all.
Thank you.
When will the oath of office be taken?
I should add that we will do the oath of office in our office on Friday prior to
Okay.
Lorna leaving. So we will wait to do that at that time.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you all. Next on our agenda is Health and Human Services. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chair and members of the board. Good morning. Annually, Nicollet County observes Mental Health Month in May by offering awareness and educational activities to community members. This morning, I'd like to introduce Lori, one of our clubhouse members, who will be reading our annual proclamation.
Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Lori Halgren, and I'm going to read the resolution. May is Mental Health Month. Whereas mental health is essential to overall physical health and emotional well-being, and whereas there is a need to recognize that mental illness affects the lives of many of our citizens and residents of all ages and censors, and whereas regardless of age, gender, race, ethnicity, religion, and economic status, 1 in 5 adults experience mental health illness. 17% of youth ages 16 through 17 years of age experience a mental health disorder, and 1 in 20 adults experience serious mental illness. And whereas people who have mental illness can lead full and productive lives, and whereas the average delay between symptoms onset and treatment is 11 years, and whereas an estimated 90% of those who die by suicide have experienced symptoms of a mental health condition, and 46% of people who die by suicide have a diagnosed mental health condition. And whereas suicide is the 10th leading cause of death in the United States, and whereas stigma continues to be a significant barrier to people getting the help needed. And Nicollet County observes Mental Health Month every May to raise awareness and understanding of the importance of mental health. Now, therefore, I, Mary Dantle, as Chairman of Commissioners of the County of Nicollet, on behalf of the entire county and staff, do hereby proclaim May of 2022 as Mental Health Month. I also urge, as citizens of Nicollet County, Minnesota, to become involved to increase awareness and understanding of mental health and the need of appropriate and accessible services for all people who experience mental illness. Date, April 26, 2022. Mary Drantle, Chair, Nicollet County Board of Commissioners.
Thank you. Would someone like to move the resolution?
I'll move adoption of the resolution.
Thank you. Second. Further comments? Hearing none?
I'm just wondering, in this area, that suicide might be more than the 10th leading cause of death. Is that probably possible?
I think so.
It's possible. I don't know our local statistics today.
Well, there seems to be a lot of them.
Thank you for sharing. That was
Thank you.
important information.
Yes.
May I add something? On August 8th, my daughter committed suicide. And she was a registered nurse. And with an undiagnosed mental health issue. And I believe that suicide too, especially during the last 2 years, has played a big part in the mental health crisis in Minnesota, especially. And I believe that if it wasn't for the Nicollet County Human Services Mental Health team, that it could have very well impacted my life. So I'd like to thank the Nicollet County Mental Health team for their help in my life.
Thank you for sharing.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Sarah, you call the resolution, or call the roll, please?
Commissioner Morrow,
Yes.
Commissioner Lipke,
Yes.
Commissioner Hack,
Yes.
Commissioner Kolars,
Yes.
Commissioner Drannell.
Yes, the resolution passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, yeah.
We also just wanted to mention, related to the clubhouse, that as board members may be aware, in March of 2022, our clubhouse moved to the newly purchased county building at 1301 Marshall Street in St. Peter. The new space is offering increased accessibility, safety, light, many more options for our activities to take place, as well as more space for our adult mental health team to be on site as well. Clubhouse members recently voted to rename the program from Power Up Clubhouse to Lighthouse on Marshall, viewing the space as a source of hope. And Lori is going to share an invitation with the board as well.
We have an open house that is scheduled for May 11th from 11 to 2 at our new location with our new name, and the location is 1301 Marshall Street in St. Peter. And we're having tours with mental health. We're having tours, and the speakers, we're having 4 speakers of the clubhouse members are sharing their stories. And we're going to have refreshments, and we're going to have giveaways of prizes.
Fantastic.
Can't wait.
So that should
Yes.
be interesting.
Thank
So
you.
we're
That's May
inviting
11th.
you to come.
Yep, May 11th.
Thank you for the invitation.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
You're
That's
welcome.
not Wednesday.
So I'm just trying to put it on my calendar.
Okay. My second topic this morning is also clubhouse related. Just giving a little bit of background on clubhouse models in general. They are designed to be safe, stigma-free locations for people experiencing mental illness so that they can feel welcome, supported, socialize with others, and receive increased access to services. In Nicollet County, we've been providing these services since 1998. Our clubhouse currently has 68 active members who attend our activities. These services and our staff members are largely funded by adult mental health and community support grants through the state. And those grants were developed to meet goals related to deinstitutionalization and reducing admissions to emergency rooms and psychiatric facilities. Historically, though funded by Nicollet County, our clubhouse has operated as a nonprofit entity known as the Power Up Clubhouse. Following the move to the new location, we started having conversations about how daily operations and our services would be streamlined if the clubhouse were to transition from its nonprofit status to be a part of the county's adult mental health services continuum. The Power Up Clubhouse did formally vote in favor of such a transition, contingent upon this county board's approval and the development of a consumer advisory committee. This transition would not disrupt the current grant funding nor change our current budget. We do have a resolution with a lot of that information in it. If you would like me to read that.
I think we can skip it because
Okay.
you've hit the high points here.
Yes.
So, would someone care to move the resolution that is in our board packet?
I move the resolution.
I'll second it, I'm sorry.
All right, we have a
Madam
second.
Chair.
We have 3
And
seconds.
Commissioner Kohler has a comment?
Whoever would like to have the second, may I have a comment?
Please.
I think this is just further indication of the services that Nicollet County and many counties provide for the residents that really largely go unrecognized. And it needs to be acknowledged. We are grateful and we appreciate the efforts. Thank you.
Additional comments from the board? Hearing none, since it's a resolution, Sarah, can you call the roll?
Commissioner Morrow,
Yes.
Commissioner Hack,
Yes.
Commissioner Lipke,
Yes.
Commissioner Kolarz,
Yes.
Commissioner Drannell.
Yes. Thank you, the resolution passes.
Thank you. My last topic is about a vaccine refrigerator. In 2021, the Nicollet County Public Health Team was able to use some of our COVID-19 funding to purchase a new vaccine refrigerator, larger to support the increased vaccination efforts. Our previous refrigerator, which is 5 years old and in good condition, was then put into storage. The original unit was purchased using UCare grant dollars, is a laboratory refrigerator built to hold vaccines and medications. It's in good condition and it is remaining in storage currently. UCare has confirmed that there are no restrictions in us repurposing this unit. So we are looking for approval to repurpose the vaccine refrigerator to Open Door Health Center.
So moved.
Second. Pass it on down the line. All
Thank you.
those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next on our agenda is administration. Mandy?
Good morning, Madam Chair and members of the board. I have 2 items for discussion purposes. The first one I'd like to talk about is the 2021 year in review highlights. As Nicollet County comes to the end of the 2022 National County Government, I'd like to take this opportunity to highlight what the individual county departments have done and consider their successes in 2021 and how they chose to thrive the National County Government Month theme in the year of 2021 as we continued in the pandemic. And so I'll just briefly go through each department and note a couple of highlights that they have completed over the year. In addition, the complete report is available on the website to review thoroughly. It's several hundred pages with it, so there's a great opportunity to really see what our departments do. But what I'll share today is just a couple of the highlights. Starting in the attorney's office, the victim witness coordinator provided assistance to 424 victims and was in contact with 2,050 victims in addition. So that's a lot of contact with our public. And we're concerning felonies. There are 224 cases referred to prosecution. In addition, the attorney's office continues to collaboratively work with our schools regarding truancy and the impacts of COVID-19. Brown Nicollet Environmental Health, they provided COVID-19 relief to approximately 360 establishments in the amount of $55,745. They provided 100 free short-term radon kits in the month of January, which is Radon Free Month. They licensed 132 establishments and provided 53 special event licenses in the year of 2021, which was nice to see the activity starting to resume. Community corrections, they had a big transition effective July 1 as they moved into the community corrections service model. With that, they had to provide an extensive, comprehensive plan. In addition to that plan, they also took on several hundred additional felony cases with it. So their caseload did increase significantly, and they are continuing to work through that transition as they come to their first anniversary this year. Extension, which this is exciting news, saw 306 youth involved in our 4-H programs. This was 226 enrolled in the 11 community clubs. 65 new members in the K through 5 participated in a 6-week 4-H club at St. Peter North Elementary and North Mankato Hoover Elementary. And 15 members participated virtually, which is a nice option for those who cannot access or drive to the school. Facilities maintenance maintained over 150,000 square feet of facility area, including the addition of 1301 Marshall Street. Finance continues the implementation with UKG as it was implemented countywide. There are a lot of post items that they needed to continue to implement, and so they worked very hard on that. Just to give you kind of a sense of what that is, between HR and finance, this program allows them to process payroll, onboarding of new employees, and benefits administration in one location for both departments. And this was a very long process as they worked collaboratively together over the years. Health and Human Services developed department-wide work groups for customer service, celebrating diversity, prevention, and self-care to further support the goals in their Health and Human Services strategic plan. They expanded their public health emergency preparedness team, which administered 10,000 plus COVID-19 vaccines in 20 different venues, coordinating 165 clinics and administrating multiple vaccine presentations for a variety of age groups. They established a multidisciplinary housing team to review policies, procedures, and create a more formal review of applications for Nicollet County housing providers. And in addition, you heard the work of the mental health team and how they work with our community members. Human Resources began offering a retirement informational meeting. Unfortunately, we are in the age where we're going to see several retirements, and it's important for our retirees to start planning ahead of time, and that's the opportunity for the county to engage with that. So they began offering an informational meeting. In addition, they provided a brochure for potential retirees to start considering options as they move forward in that decision. Property and Public Services. They processed 160 splits, combinations, and plats, impacting 257 existing parcels. They issued 105 zoning permits, processed 18,441 motor vehicle transactions, and this is an increase of 2,378 from 2020. They processed 6,806 driver's license transactions, which was an increase of 693 from 2020. And recorded 7,512 real estate documents. Public Works maintained 307 miles. In addition, you heard earlier from Director Greenwood and their awarding of their state concrete paving award project, which is a very successful opportunity for them. The Sheriff's Office assisted with 11,372 calls for assistance in various categories, including the response to 451 accidents. Our Office of Technologies managed 3,397 internal support tickets, and that just relates to the importance of technology and how we use it on a daily work schedule and 24 hours at this point. And lastly, our Veteran Services Department, according to the federal VA expenditure data, $15.875 million were awarded to Nicollet County veterans for various programs and benefits. This is an increase of $273,000 from the year of 2020. And so applauding our Veteran Services staff for making sure that our veterans have the services and financial support that they need as they continue in their life adventures. All departments continue to demonstrate their adaptability to the changing workforce and the needs and expectations of the county residents. In addition, staff continue to look for opportunities to enhance existing processes and procedures for efficiency and innovation. And I would like to note, at the end of last week, Governor Walz proclaimed April 26th today as County Government Day. And Madam Chair, if I may read the proclamation for the record.
Please do so.
State of Minnesota Proclamation. Whereas Minnesota's 87 counties employ over 36,000 people to provide essential services to create healthy, safe, and vibrant communities. And whereas the work of county employees is fundamental, whether it's a newborn well checked by a public health nurse, a passport renewal, or voter registration and ballot processing. And whereas, through their commitment to public service, county employees dedicate their time, skills, and expertise for the benefit of their neighbors, at times risking their personal safety to coordinate emergency management or manage justice and public safety systems. And whereas the vital work that counties do promotes healthy communities, foster conditions for economic growth, strengthens infrastructure, and improves residents' quality of life. Now therefore, I, Tim Walz, Governor of Minnesota, do hereby proclaim Tuesday, April 26, 2022 as County Government Appreciation Day in the state of Minnesota. So I would like to take this opportunity to thank all of our county staff for the hard work they do, and as noted, it's just a couple of items that I highlighted, but if you look at the full year in review, our county staff work very hard and are very appreciative of the opportunity to work here and the opportunities that they get to interact with our public.
Thank you, and our appreciation goes out to staff also. It has not been an easy couple of years, and as I said earlier, the little things make a huge difference. Thank you.
The other item I would like to, for your consideration today is the amendment to the 2022 committee board assignments and meetings that qualify for a per diem payment and resolution. Within your packet, there is a resolution amending the list in addition to the list of committee assignments. And just for ease, as you go through the packet, you will notice that there are two different colors highlighted. Green is representative of the vacancy of the commissioner, and so all commissioners are assigned to very specific committees. In this case, this is one of them that is a vacancy that needs to be replaced in addition to the other 4 commissioners. And I'm recommending that Commissioner Hack be replaced within the green highlight. In addition, the yellow highlighted areas within it is an open vacancy, the passing of Commissioner Kemp, and I would also recommend the replacement of Commissioner Hack with one change, and that is under Traverse de Sioux Regional Library. Within your packet, Commissioner Kolars is listed as the alternate. It should be Commissioner Kolars listed as the regular member, and the alternate is the vacant position.
Madam Chair, in that area, Dave, would you like to be the alternate to TDS since you had been there before?
Yeah, perfectly fine, yeah.
I'd like to make that.
Madam Chair, I'm the Regional Treatment Center liaison. St. Peter, it's under the S's.
We can make that change. Thank you.
Any other comments, questions, thoughts?
That North Mankato liaison. I can't find it right now.
We don't have either city liaison, is it?
Isn't it?
There it is.
Oh, then I'm looking in the wrong place.
Yeah, it's under Nicollet County, North Mankato Liaison.
Okay. That's got Jack and myself, right? Maybe I should be the alternate. Dave should be the
Primary?
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay.
Would make sense. They have most of the city.
That's good.
Park Committee, Dave, you'll take that because you're a former Parks Director.
Yep.
Right?
Would someone care to move the resolution with the proposed changes? Or
So moved.
I'll second.
further conversation?
Welcome aboard, Dave.
Thank you.
Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Madam Chair,
Nope.
before Mandy leaves, absent from your year-end report was any administrative office, and I know that this is your first year, unless I missed it because of lack of hearing up here, but could you highlight some of what you saw as your accomplishments in these first months of your administrative report?
Sure. A couple of things that, as Sarah and I transitioned over from property services, it was just learning the basic process of, we had an initial sense of what the activities and duties were, but it's just learning more in depth. We've taken some opportunities to look at how we do some of our internal processes with Laserfiche and helping or assisting the other departments. Also looking at some of our social media and how we interact and display information to the public with it. We do have several other projects that are in the works too as we move forward regarding some of our documents and how those are stored. We've made great strides and some of that on our project list and are looking forward to making sure that we have additional things as we move forward. In addition, we have looked at some additional work groups, starting the IDEA work group, which is our inclusivity, diversity, equity, and accessibility work group, and looking at a business continuity work group too. So make sure that in the event we do have a threat, and it could be various kinds, whether it a cyber threat or some type of natural disaster, how we're going to work through that with our emergency manager and the identified work group members with it.
Very good, thank you. And I think I would speak for our board members to thank you for the constant communication that we receive, the updates that help us understand what is happening here on a daily basis, and we appreciate that communication.
Yes, absolutely.
And I wouldn't want to, not that you are, but the Marshall Building really was an amazing last minute.
Coincidence.
But, you know, it saved county residents hundreds of thousands of dollars from the other options we were looking at.
Mm-hmm.
Just a fantastic thing, and you were very, and Cassie and others were very alert and quick acting in a way that was very beneficial, so thank you.
And we probably got the facility a year quicker than we would have the other way, too.
It was all about timing, but I have to say Director Sassenberg was very integral in that part with it. She was the one that made the initial contact, saw the building that was available, and we moved. And thankfully, we were able to use our American Rescue dollars to purchase that building and move forward our mental health concerns.
So we should recognize Ms. McCormick as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
And you survived without pulling your hair out during this time period.
Commissioner, since we're waiting a moment here, if I might, with your indulgence, I would ask Ms. Essenberg, could you come forward for a moment?
Thank you, Mandy.
Thank you. I just had one question I meant to ask earlier.
Sure, the chair has stepped away, so I'll take her spot at this point.
Mr. Chair, what I'd just like to do is just ask for kind of a public health update. Where are we?
Sure. Well, at this point, our numbers have continued to decrease. I mean, watching regionally, things have had upticks certain weeks. Seems related to schools primarily. Our public health team, though, is now focusing on recovery efforts. We still have the large amount of funding available, and so we're looking towards surveying the community, trying to figure out how we can use those funds for resiliency, community building. A lot of it comes down to mental health response, I believe, as well. But first, figuring out how do we even begin to understand what the needs are in the county at this point. So probably coming forward with some ideas this summer as we look to do those surveys and in-person community conversations to learn more about it. That's really become the FEP team's focus, is the recovery right now, while also knowing that we need to be prepared to pivot in any other direction over the next coming year.
Thank you. I just thought it'd be a nice opportunity for an update.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner. Moving on in the agenda, County Attorney update. Madam Attorney.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. One thing I'd like to report is that my office was able to participate in the Senior Expo that was held in St. Peter last Thursday, I believe it was. A tremendous turnout for that event. Got to talk to a number of individuals and share information about fraud prevention. So it was really nice to get back to a normal activity and spread information about fraud prevention, because again, that contact with individuals helped emphasize the number of scams that are out there and the vulnerabilities that are experienced of how persuasive some of the scammers can be. And so providing that information hopefully prevents a number of those scams from actually coming to fruition. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Just as an update, what are the rules upstairs at the court for in-person? Are we back?
There's some new changes that will be coming into play, I believe, in June regarding increasing the number of hearings that are happening in person. Some of those hearings will continue to be by Zoom.
All right, thank you very much. We'll wait on Chairwoman Drantel's report and get Commissioner Committee reports. Commissioner Morrow, would that work for you, or are you still jotting?
I'm still jotting, to be honest with you.
Let's go Commissioner Lipke and then Hack.
Well, I attended the workshop special meeting when Dave got sworn in, and the Brown Nicollet one on Friday, and that's a lot of phone calls, but that's the only official things.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Hack?
Just my swearing in and first board meeting, and then Brown Nicollet last Friday.
Very good. Commissioner Morrow?
All right, we did the canvas to confirm. Commissioner Hack joining, so we did the canvas, Highway 169, a South Central Health Committee, LAC, the special meeting and the redistricting meetings you all mentioned. We had a broadband meeting, and also the Nicollet Brown meeting.
Thank you. My report includes the RETA meeting, the canvas with Commissioner Morrow, our workshop, Traverse to Sioux Community Health, Diversity Council, which met last night, and the Diversity Council is going to be now the place in the area for Human Rights Commission in South Central Minnesota, and today's county board meeting. And when Chair Drantel comes back, she can share her meetings. So, Commissioner meetings and conferences. Mandy, do you have anything other than the AMC district meeting?
You received the invitation for the May 11th Clubhouse Open House today, and then, as you mentioned, the June 8th District AMC meeting, which is tentatively planned for Le Sueur County, and there'll be more information coming out as we get closer.
We haven't heard where yet?
Not yet, just Le Sueur County in general.
Right, okay. Very good. Any other items for meetings from commissioners that you'd like to bring forward? Hearing none, Chair would seek a motion to approve the per diems and expenses.
So moved.
Commissioner Lipke has moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Morrow. Sarah, please call the roll.
Commissioner Lipke?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrow?
Yes.
Commissioner Kolars?
Yes.
Commissioner Hack?
Yes.
All right. Very good. Carries.
We're now down to 3. I'll take the chair for the moment, if that's okay.
That's great.
We should have a motion to adjourn the board meeting.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn the regular board meeting. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The regular board meeting is adjourned.
Thank you, Terry.
The Drainage Authority meeting is now before us. We have agenda items. Consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve?
Mr. Chair, I'll move approval of the agenda.
Thank you. Commissioner, is there a second?
Yes, second.
John, second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Was opposed? Carries. Jackie, do you have some?
Consent agenda now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought.
I'll move approval of the consent agenda.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second on the consent agenda, which I thought we just handled, but I must be new at this. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Carries. Thank you. Ms. Kopit.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the board. As you recall, at our last Drainage Authority meeting, we had a public hearing for the repair to County Ditch 48A. Houston Engineering presented its repair report, and at that meeting, it was originally scheduled for March 22nd, and then we continued it on April 12th, and at that meeting, it was approved for Houston Engineering to move ahead with the repair and to go ahead with bids on the project. And at this time, I'd like to bring back the findings in order that reflect the board's wishes from the last meeting. I would, if you would like, the order is lengthy, but I would like to read the 4 bullet points for the order itself to recall what we are approving today, if that's okay. So the order indicates that the repair report for County Ditch 48A in the location specified in these findings and as recommended in the engineer's report is approved consistent with the engineer's recommendation. The Nicollet County Property and Public Services Director, the board chair, and Houston Engineering shall proceed with all necessary procedures to commence the repairs set forth in the engineer's repair report, and to further seek the necessary quotes for the repairs consistent with the procedures required by Minnesota Statute Chapter 103E and under Minnesota law. Upon receipt of the quotes for the repairs, this matter shall return to the Drainage Authority for consideration of these quotes received. The cost for the repair shall be paid by funds in the maintenance account for the County Ditch number 48A and/or by assessments made to those properties benefited by the drainage system in the drainage system records. Dated April 26, 2022.
Mr. Chair, I'll move the findings of fact in order regarding ditch 48A.
Thank you, Commissioner. Is there a second?
I seconded Jack.
Commissioner Lipke, discussion.
Ms. Copeland, anything in addition to add?
I do not have anything in addition to add at this time.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, we're just basically going by the landowner's wishes as we read it that meeting.
Correct. We extended the meeting to get additional landowner input,
Yes.
which we did, and we had some very good landowner input. And so this was the wishes of the landowner.
Yes. Thank you. I support the motion.
And Mr. Chair, the other flexibility that this finding allows the board is that once the engineer obtains the different quotes for the 2 different methods of doing the repairs, it'll come back before the board for further consideration at the board's request. And so it allows for continued input by the landowners as well.
Thank you very much. Any other discussion on the motion in front of us? Sarah, please call the roll.
Commissioner Morrow?
Yes.
Commissioner Lipke?
Yes.
Commissioner Hack?
Yes.
Commissioner Kolars?
Yes, carries. Thank you. Is there any other business before the Drainage Authority today?
Thank you. I would ask the board to consider, Houston Engineering presented a contract to move forward with these repairs, and I had hoped that that contract would be ready for this meeting for the board to approve as well. However, we didn't receive it until late last week, and then there's a correction that's been noted. It is the same contract this board had previously approved for them to do the investigation about the needed repair. So I would just ask for the board's consideration and motion to allow Ms. Copet and myself to review a contract and then present that contract to the chair for signature when that contract is ready, rather than delaying and waiting for the next board meeting.
I'll move that.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do you have the language on that, Sarah?
No.
You be okay? Discussion on the motion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Commissioner Lipke?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrow?
Yes.
Commissioner Hack?
Yes.
Commissioner Kolars?
Yes, carries. Thank you. Before we adjourn, I will ask if there's any other item that should come before the Drainage Authority.
Mr. Chair, does Seth want to give us any updates on the ditch projects, or no?
He's not ready at this time.
Mr. Chair, if I may?
Yes, please.
There are ongoing ditch issues concerning more than one ditch.
Yes.
And I, for one, can say that I think county staff have been tremendously vigilant in trying to resolve ongoing issues, and I feel like the communications feel daily in terms of trying to get answers to some of these pressing questions.
Thank you, Mr. Morrow. Appreciate that, and thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
We are.
Mr. Chair, I move to adjourn.
Second.
Entertain a motion to adjourn. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, it carries. We are adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.